Hello, everyone. I'm Danny Valdez, and you've made it to the live signing of Jamie Foxx's new book, Act Like You Got Some Sense and Other Things My Daughters Taught Me. Jamie, I am beyond excited. How are you today?
Listen, man, I am in the house like furniture, down like gravity, and I am happy to see you, my fellow Southern friend.
Let's go.
Nashville.
South.
You know, I'm Texas, baby, Tejas. So, it's a thing.
It's a thing, man.
Right?
It's a thing. We know
Yes.
we have endured some similar things. There's no question.
Yes, but it's a good thing. It's a deep fried thing.
It's a deep fried thing. Tell the people where you are. You're in somebody's dungeon, somebody's bat cave. What is
And
it?
actually, this is the new flat here in New York City. These ladders actually take me to a 12,000 square foot. Actually, I'm in a closet. I'm in a closet. But here's the thing. Listen, here's the thing. I did not want this connection to be messed up. So here I am in Harlem at an undisclosed place, but we had to hardwire it. So I look good for you.
That's so good. Well, guys, for the next 30 minutes, Jamie is going to be signing books and answering as many of your questions as possible. And for those who have tuned in, but you've not yet purchased a book, you actually still have time to order an autographed copy. This is not a rolled stamp from a printing press. Jamie Foxx has signed this book. This is a historic book. You need to get it, and you need to go to premiercollectibles.com/Fox to order your copy. Jamie, I have to say before we get to audience questions, when I was 10 years old, a show came on my television that changed my life forever. 3 seasons later, you came on and you brought with you somebody special that made such an impact on me. And her name was
Hey, girl. Oh, I'm so glad you remember me. Oh, wow. Look at your skin. It's so even. It's so even. You know, that's like, I moisturize too myself, but hey, for real though.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Yeah.
Thanks to you and Jim Carrey, of course, too, I got in so much trouble for probably most of my childhood. This is such a full circle moment for me. And I just wanted you to know that this is really special. I did Wanda impressions until I was in a lot of trouble for it. So.
Well, you know what was great about that show was,
Yeah.
I talked about it a little bit in my book, but what's great about this show was being in a place where all of these dreamers and watching their dreams come true.
Yeah.
When Keenan Ivory Wayans, coming from New York City, had this incredible idea. He had worked in the shadows of Eddie Murphy and Arsenio. He finally gets his break in this incredible show where all these guys listen. I got a chance to watch Jim Carrey writing Pet Detective.
Really?
I walk in his office and there he is with all of these cue cards. I said, "What's up? Hey, man, what are you doing?" "Just writing on this little show, this movie I got called Pet Detective." I'm like, wow. And then I went to his place and I watched a little bit of it. And after I watched some of it, I shook his hand that day. I said, "Listen, I'm gonna shake your hand." He said, "Why?" I said, "Because I'll never be able to shake your hand like this again once this comes out."
No doubt.
To be able to be in that type of that type of artistic place, seeing J-Lo for the first time and all of that, it was just amazing.
Dude, it was beyond comedy. It was escape and happiness for me. And I know for so many people, like what that team brought and what you've brought throughout your career. And now with this fabulous looking book, man, it transcends entertainment. There's something forever about it. And I love it. I know everybody watching does too.
Thank you. There's a feeling, man. And like when you mention the book, it's like now as we've pressed forward, now 2 daughters, all of this time, which seems like it went pretty quickly. But I look at this book, Act Like You Got Some Sense, sort of like really therapeutic. I mean, and that title alone, Act Like You Got Some Sense, came from my grandmother. Now, everybody would tell you, especially you little Black kids when growing up, you go in the store with your grandmother. She said, "Listen, we're going to go in this store. Okay?
Yeah.
You go in here, you better act like you got some sense."
Yeah.
It's crazy because maybe you didn't have no sense, but she's telling you to act like it.
Yes.
So I took that title. It's the same thing I said in the speech when we won the Oscar for Ray, that she was my first acting teacher, but she was my disciplinary. She was backup when I needed help. And she gave me the DNA of how to raise a kid. And I use that every single day.
Wow. And you talk a lot about her in this book, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, okay, here's the thing. Tyler Perry Tyler Perry thinks that Madea, that was the first Madea. My grandmother was the first Madea.
No.
Yeah, like I remember getting into it with these guys, and these dudes said, let's chess box. And he said, if you hit me, my brother gonna shoot you with the pellet gun. I'm like, I'm not gonna win that. So I go outside, and I didn't want to go to my grandmother because I didn't have no brothers. You know, I was the only child. So I'm out there crying. You know, I do that loud. And she said, "Boy, what's wrong with you?" I said, "Oh, there's the gun." She said, "Huh?" I said, "I don't know what to do." She said, "I know what to do." And my grandmother put on a muumuu. Right? Said,
Okay.
"Come on, we going down there." And as we're walking, the muumuu swung on the right side like this. I said, "What's in the muumuu?" When we got to the house, I finally saw what was in the muumuu. She reached in the muumuu and pulled out a 380.
No.
Knocked on the door, stuck it in the house, and said, "Hey, listen, I don't know what happened, but let me tell you something about this child. This child is special. Okay, don't put hands on it, because the next time I come in here, I'm gonna fire this thing." And she was able to do that because she was the lady who raised the whole city. In my city in Terrell, Texas, population 12,000 people. So she knew everybody. So they understood. But what I found was that my grandmother was willing to go to jail to make sure that her grandson was okay. And so I mean that in a metaphoric way when it comes to my kids. And it's sort of like in the book, you got to be willing to go to jail in order to make sure that your kids have the opportunity to live their best life.
Wow. So obviously there's a lot of daughter lessons from them in this book, but why did you write this book? Why now?
I think this has been something that me and my daughters have been talking about for a long time. We have so many colorful stories. We've done so much.
Yeah.
But I felt like this is an opportunity to do a funny, fun book, talk about parenting, and also giving some of my brothers an opportunity. When I say brothers, I don't just mean black. I mean everybody, every guy who has a daughter, how to connect. Like in the book you'll read, it's funny, but it's telling us as men, don't run away from a responsibility or run away from getting that opportunity to connect with your daughters. By right, we think that women are inherently in first place to take care of daughters because they're both women. But listen, at a certain point when your daughter grows up, she's going to need us because they're going to be boys, they're going to be guys, and who's better to talk to her about guys than me? So I made sure I made connections early with my daughters, whether it was to talk about the romance talk, or the birds and the bees, or whatever you want to call it. I did it early, so that paid off in huge dividends when they got older, because they can come and talk to me about anything.
I found as a career man myself, it's so easy to say, I'm so glad my sweetheart's taking care of these kids, daddy's going to work. But you've got a chapter in here called Dad Rule Number 1. You've got to show up. And I haven't even made it to the chapter yet, but the title alone had me going, don't forget.
Yeah, you got to show up. Listen, when I was doing all those things to try to get on The Living Color, I was gone. I was trying to make it, but my daughter was young. And so in doing that, I was disconnecting. And at one point, I would just take my daughter to Disneyland for everything. Let's just go to Disneyland. You know what I'm saying? Let me give you the cotton candy. Let me get you the fast pass. And I'm thinking, I am super parent. I'm Disneyland dad. And the next thing you know, she turns 15 and she says, Dad, I think we should go to therapy. I said, what do you mean? Black people don't go to therapy. What you talking about? She was like, no, Dad, I really think so when I go to therapy, what do? I'm doing like I'm doing now. I'm over talking. I'm this, I'm that. Well, you know, as a father and as that. The therapist said, could you just be quiet for 1 second and let her talk?
Woo.
And then my daughter said, I didn't like you, Dad. I didn't like you. I said, what do you mean? But I took you to Disney. She said, yeah, you did all those things and I appreciate it, but it was really the time that I want. It's the time. You can be anything to all those other people, but to me, I need my dad. And so that changed our trajectory. And now you see it paid dividends. We have a great relationship. She's a producer on my show. She's executive in my company. She just wrote a TV drama, a movie. So what I was trying to make guys understand, and no matter what the circumstance, fly through that turbulence of, oh, Dad, you're on my nerves, or maybe you and the mom don't get along. Get through that and you can be on a beautiful daddy-daughter autopilot.
Oh man, I can't wait to dig into this. And it is obviously written. I mean, no one wrote this for you.
No,
There are way too many. I've watched you for a long time.
hey,
This is
listen,
written by you.
this is what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to say, well, scientifically and this, that, and then, talk, where my mouth has to move a lot in order to get my words out. I don't want to talk like that. I wanted to talk exactly like I'm talking to you. So
Yeah.
that bleeds through. Now, you try not to buy too much into, what the critic would say, but the critics have really been very nice to it. And I think that's why, because I kept it, for lack of a better word, real.
Jamie, I would selfishly hog all of this time, but so many people who bought this book have written questions in to you and they want to hear from you as well. So are you ready to take these questions?
Oh my goodness.
Let's go to Steve from Henderson, Nevada. He says, I'm very excited to read your book. I'm wondering, with all you've accomplished, what's next? More albums, more music, more acting?
Well, to be honest with you, all of that. We did this book tour, right? We were in Apollo, and we sold out the Apollo, and everybody was like, are we going to be, man, we came out, stand-up comedy, a couple of guys opened up, Nick Cannon hosted, we did perform, we did songs, we did stand-up, we did acting, all of that. So that's happening. We're working on the stand-up right now, fine-tuning that. We're going to take that out this fall.
So your book tour is a show. It's a
production. I ain't going to be sitting up in there, well, in chapter 14, the weight of parenting.
Let's go.
The pelvis. No, I wouldn't. It's a show, and we come into LA Wednesday at the Wilton. James Corden is hosting, and then the next day we got Snoop Dogg. Well, yeah, Snoop Dogg's hosting.
Hey,
in San Diego.
Yeah. All right. Wish I could be there for that. All right, let's go to Gabriel from Colorado Springs, Colorado. With 3 daughters of my own, what is your go-to bedtime story that you read? Mine are The Giving Tree and Where the Wild Things Are.
Oh man, listen. So my bedtime story was Green Eggs and Ham. I know they tripped.
Hey.
I know they tripped on Dr. Seuss. I don't know what that was all about, but it was Green Eggs and Ham. Do you like green eggs and ham? I like green. I like green eggs. Would you like them here or there? I would not like them here or there. Would I like them anywhere? I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am. So I would do that there, but then my youngest daughter started getting freaked out a little bit about the Grinch. So I had to because she thought Sam looked like the Grinch. You know what I mean? Well, anyway, so yeah, green eggs and ham.
Amanda from Brenham, Texas. What is one of the biggest life lessons your daughter has taught you?
Taught me a few. Taught me to listen. Because when you are a father and you are trying to quarterback this sort of family team, you have it in your head how you're going to govern and everything like that. But they're like, Dad, I know you think you're right all the time, and maybe most of the time you aren't, but you just got to listen to what we're saying, and it will help you. Because, daughters don't always just spill the beans as what's going on. You got to kind of read the tea leaves a little bit. So, listening to my daughters really helped me out. That was the overall lesson.
That's beautiful. Sean from Banbury, you have starred alongside some of the biggest names in Hollywood. Is there someone that you would still love to work with that you haven't yet?
Oh, man, yeah. Denzel, man. All right. Okay.
Oh, you've never worked with Denzel.
All right. Never worked with Denzel. Okay. You want to work with me, huh?
My man.
Okay. Boom. So of course, I gotta work with D, whether we're in front of the camera or him directing. He's an incredible director as well.
Yeah. Mike TKO Taylor from Trenton, New Jersey. Besides the piano, what other instruments do you play?
I play the trumpet. Play the drums.
Hey, I'm a drummer.
There you go.
I used to tour and play.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah. We've Francesco from Rome, Italy. Can you tell me a difficult moment in the set of Django?
I'm gonna tell you the most difficult moment. Riding bareback on the horse.
Oh man.
They had a stunt guy and they didn't tell me what happened. Quentin just says, "Hey, Jamie, we need to get you on the horse because it's just not matching up." They didn't tell me that the stunt guy had fell off this thing and almost broke his neck. So they put me on the horse, right? The stunt guy whispers in my ear, says, listen, don't, if this horse does the wrong thing, jump off. Now, they just got a dirt track and
Yeah.
at the end of it to catch me. The horse just takes off when I get on it. And then I'm like, okay. Now, on the outside, I'm like John Wayne. On the inside, I was like Little Richard. I was like, oh, Lord Jesus, Lord Jesus, Lord. And then again, I'm trying to stop it. I just almost pulled the reins, right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking they got it. Quentin Tarantino says, it was amazing, man, but we need it one more time.
Oh, yeah.
Go around because the follow car was too far behind. The horse goes, turns around, sees out of his turn that the follow car is up, takes off in the turn. Now I'm on the side of the horse. And I'm like, I can't jump off because it's nothing but a ditch. We're going like 25 miles an hour. And finally, the horse fatigue, I'm back on it, and the rest was history.
Hey, man, speaking of Django, man, Django.
Yeah.
That to me, Django, like 200 years from now, Django is going to be, in my opinion, everybody can fight me on this, but like a classic. Like, I know it sounds like a weird comparison, but like right there with Gone with the Wind or one of these all-time classics, man, this movie, like what it captured in history and even some of the things that weren't even perfectly historical, but the energy and the spirit of that film, man, was
it was amazing. And it's interesting hearing the question from the young man from Italy, because the original Django was from Italy. There were like 30 or 40 Django's done before this Django.
Really?
Yeah. So, and the man who actually played Django was actually in the movie with us. And so you are onto something. I think it's one of Quentin Tarantino's best movies, because all of the movies that he had done, I think, sort of featured in this movie.
Agree. It was almost like these things were tried and tested out in other films, and then this was like the climax of all things, like Tarantino perfect. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Again, fans can fight me, but Kevin from Berlin, Germany. Since you're an actor who is able to portray so many diverse characters, real and fictional, who or what was the biggest challenge you had to face to get the job done? And so you could say that you're happy with how it turned out in the end.
I would say the biggest challenge would have been Ray Charles, and I'll tell you why. I had to be small. I had to lose.
Okay.
I was 156 pounds in that movie. Now I walk around at like 192. So I had out of weight.
Wow. Yeah.
It was like just listening to Ray and for a whole year, trying to get the cadence right. And then finally meeting Ray Charles. I met him, he was older, but he was like, hey, you know what? I said, I'm just trying to play you in the right way, Mr. Charles. He says, hey, can you play the blues, baby? We got a chance to sit down and play the blues together.
No way.
Then we moved into Thelonious Monk, and I hit a wrong note. He says, hey, why the hell would you do that? I said, well, I was just trying to find the right note, Mr. Charles. He said, well, that's what life is, baby. Taking the time to find the right note. So that process was long, but in the end, it worked out, I believe, very, very beautiful.
Man, that's beautiful. Matt from Boise, Idaho writes, of all the awards you have won, TV shows and movies you have been in, albums you have made, what have your daughters been most proud of? Great question.
Wow. Great question. My youngest daughter, obviously, with Ray, because that was during her time. She was like 10 or 11. And my oldest daughter loves Django. Now, my youngest daughter loves Django. The youngest daughter loves Django. My oldest daughter loves Ray, but my youngest daughter loves Django because she was on the set of Django when she was like,
oh, wow.
What, 4?
Whoa.
3 years old, 4. And she was watching all the blood like, everybody dead. But now as she got older, we allowed her to watch Django, and some of the things that she couldn't watch, we definitely made her turn her head, but she enjoyed it.
Yeah, wow. John from Mount Vernon, Illinois asks, what actor had the biggest influence on your acting style?
Well, there's a few actors. Obviously Denzel, obviously Billy D. Williams, obviously Al Pacino, De Niro. Um, I mean, they were just like to me like larger than life. And then I know it's crazy, but Eddie Murphy was like to me a person who never really got his real props because
Mm.
look at what he did in Beverly Hills Cop. You look at what he did with the clumps of
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
They got to create a whole different thing for him because he was just off the charts with the talent. So he definitely influenced me beyond.
Dude, Eddie Murphy, that he was this original force in the universe. I mean, there was none like Eddie Murphy, you know? There was, you know what I mean? You see actors, they're like, oh yeah, he could also play that and also play that. And with Eddie Murphy, I'm like, oh, who would replace Eddie Murphy?
Nobody.
Nobody,
Absolutely
man.
the best.
Nobody. Jeff from New York, at what age did you start playing piano? And how impressed was the great Ray Charles with your abilities?
Well, Ray Charles was impressed in the fact that, he thought I was an actor and so I was able to play. But I started playing when I was like 5, 6 years old. And the reason being, because my adopted brother, he would play.
Okay.
And I was just watching him and he would have like a girl come over and he'd be playing for her and stuff like that. And they light a funny cigarette. I don't know what that was, but he was playing.
No clue.
I don't know what that was. But I was like, I gotta do that. I gotta do that.
Wow.
And so my grandmother facilitated and said, not only are you gonna play, but you're gonna play classical music. I said, why? Why classical piano? She said, because it's gonna take you across the tracks. And I thought she meant like, I'm like, for the white people? She's like, no, silly. No, silly. Metaphoric track, don't take you all over the world. And it did. I ended up going to college on a classical piano scholarship at a United States International University with 81 different countries represented.
Wow. Kevin from Fort Worth, Texas. He's asking my question. What are some of your best memories from In Living Color? Do you have a feeling back then that so many members of the cast would go on to such great things?
You don't actually know. I mean, if you think about that, my best memories were the guest stars. I remember Tupac coming.
Oh,
we do a sketch with Tupac, and we would hang out with Tupac all the time. But you didn't realize that these guys were going to be, legends.
Sure.
But it was amazing, and it was a time where we were young. It was a time where our jokes could fly the way we wanted them to, and so like on any given time, like seeing those guest stars show up, from Teddy Riley, from Leaders of the New School. I mean, Heavy D, God bless. It was just amazing.
Wow. Yeah, man. Dude, that was Tupac just in that one skit where he was trying to get into his own show and it was you and Tommy Davidson, right?
Tommy Davidson,
yeah. Tommy Davidson like, man, man, you can't come in here.
Exactly. So imagine having those moments, and then the moments that we don't talk always about, but the after parties and hanging out, out with folks is just amazing.
And you're sort of known for your party throwing, is that right?
Yeah, but I did it to sort of get to know people in Hollywood, get to know people in my circle.
You mean sort of like a business thing?
Yeah, in a sense, because like I wanted to get into music. So I built this little studio in my house, back at a little small house.
Yeah.
Do a party for Puff one time, year 2000, like 21 years ago.
Yeah. Woo.
Party for Puff, and Missy Elliott had a room, and
wow.
It was standing on the wall. Nobody knew who he was. Guess who it was?
Who?
Jay-Z.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, and I was like, "What's up, man? Nice party. It's crazy. Nice party. It's crazy. It's like this all the time. It's crazy." And then out by my garage, there was another like tall dude and a short guy. And the short guy was like, "Yo, B, it's like this all the time. Like people singing karaoke and whatever. What else?" I said, "Yeah, who are you?" So we're the Neptunes. My name.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but I would do that to sort of get on the music. And then one day a guy came by with a backpack on and his jaw was a little busted, and his name was Kanye West.
Okay.
We ended up doing a song called Slow Jams in the back of my house, and it ended up being #1.
Come on, let's go.
Yeah.
Man, I throw parties in my single car garage for my friends too. We pop popcorn and man. All right, let's go to Jeffrey from Davenport, Iowa. Jamie, do you miss doing comedy on a variety show like you did on Fox? He says, this book is a birthday present to myself, and I appreciate you taking the time today for my question.
First of all, thank you so much for that, and happy birthday. And yeah, I miss that. I miss what we were doing on In Living Color. I think like Saturday Night Live has got their lane, you know, what I'm
Yeah.
saying, the mainstream lane, but I miss that hip hop. I miss that. I miss our perspective. And maybe one day, you know, we could crank that machine up again and like, you know, uh get it going. And I know that nowadays it's a little um, you know, people get a little tight, but man, jokes is what sustains us, man. Like being able to be funny, man, and laugh at ourselves.
Yes.
That's what we need. We need so much more of that, especially with all the things we're going through right now.
Yes, man. We need those prophet comedians to talk about what everybody's like, shh, it's against the rules. And those comedians come, man, that's the thing that blew me away about him. I think that's what hooked me on In Living Color,
Yeah.
is that it wasn't like this stuffy adult show. Even I've seen stuffy adult comedy shows. It wasn't that. It was like these grown-up children. Y'all were acting like 5-year-olds, man. Homie the Clown smacking kids. Everybody was acting like kids on the show. And I think that's what, it was more than comedy. It was life, you know?
Yeah.
And I came from a broken home, you know?
Oh,
And, you know, to be able to know, I mean, we knew when In Living Color was coming on every week, and to be able to, it wasn't like, let's watch In Living Color. It's, we get to hang out with Homie the Clown. We get to see Wanda. Fire Marshal Bill's going to be at our house tonight. You know, I mean, man, do you feel like something of that childlike beauty could happen in television today?
I think it can. I think that we need to just figure it out, find a way to go back to it. And I think it's needed. I think especially in Hollywood, everybody's taking themselves so seriously.
Yeah.
Which is weird because we came to Hollywood to be irreverent.
Yeah.
Hollywood to color outside the lines. And so now when I see us trying to be the moral compass of the world, that's not where we really live, especially me as a comic. And when I go out to do stand-up, I just want to have fun. You know what I'm saying? Talk trash, have some fun, but stay focused on we are the entertainer.
Yeah.
On if you drown us out, all we're gonna have is mayhem and you know, bad things. So it's like, you know, hopefully we'll get to it and just get the world laughing.
Oh man. Well, unfortunately, that is all the time we have. Man, I wish it could be hours and hours, but to order Jamie Foxx's limited edition autograph book, go to premiercollectibles.com/Fox. And whether you're a collector or lover of books, Premier Collectibles has the best-selling author signed books that everybody wants. And if you want to be a part of the live signing experience with more of your favorite authors, follow Premier Collectibles on Instagram or Facebook. Jamie, from all your friends who've tuned in, from all of us at Premier Collectibles, man, thank you for your talent on In Living Color. Thank you for your music. Thank you for your acting. Thank you so much for writing this book. I can't wait to read the rest of it. And actually, I've got a free copy to prepare for this, but it's not signed. So I'm hanging up and I'm going to Premier Collectibles and getting your signed copy.
It's signed, baby. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, this is John Acuff, New York Times best-selling author of 7 books and someone who's done a live signing. If you like the one you just watched, make sure you check out our YouTube channel. It's full of amazing authors having great conversations and signing books for viewers just like you. So make sure you subscribe, and thanks for watching today.